Hello everyone, it's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. I thought we would do a quick Accelerator leaderboard update. So you look here, it is about 9 p.m. on February 7th, 2023, and we've got $2.8 million raised from 220 investors. RP from Maryland still comfortably in the number 1 spot. I don't know if anyone's gonna replace that spot. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think anyone's gonna beat the $1,010,000 spot. Next person down is 260,000, and then here's our big new investor, all new money, 136,500 KA from Maryland. That was the biggest investment raised, new money raised from the accelerator. The second biggest being the 60,000 from PG from Oregon. All right. So, in other news, we know that Aptera has been in St. Moritz at this event called Follow the Entrepreneur, which I'm hoping has a lot of investors and venture capital people that may be interested in investing. Of course, we know that St. Moritz is a hotbed of activity for very wealthy people this time of year, with the Davos World Economic Forum being a few weeks ago, just north in Davos. And then in St. Moritz, there is like world polo and some horse races and some other events that have a lot of very wealthy people in the area. And you can see here's a picture of Steve and Chris giving a talk at that place. And then if you look here, they're recording some stuff for Follow the Entrepreneur. So they've been hard at work trying to get some big money funding, and so they're working that angle while the smaller investors are coming through this Aptera accelerator program. Also, interestingly, Steve Fambrough has his uh, own YouTube channel with 120 subscribers. I believe this is the actual Steve Fambrough because this was published a day ago, and it is footage of the Gamma vehicle in Switzerland. And so if this isn't Steve Fambrough, it's someone that is over there and able to record this. So I think that is him. Um, and if you want to look, Mike Jarvis is one of our community here on YouTube as well as on our Discord channel. He has this cool dashboard where he kind of looks at the data from the accelerator and makes cool little graphs so you can kind of look at it from many different angles. So he's got this, it's got how many spots are available, 1772 spots available, about 30% new investors, and you can see the largest investment on a single day. So most of them are like 10, 20,000, but then here's the big 60,000 and here's the big 136,000. And you see here that the amount of money raised per day was a lot at the beginning, and then now it's tapering off, which is kind of what I expected. And unfortunately, I'm right, and it is tapering off. I was hoping that it wouldn't. Um, I think that Aptera um, should do things like numbering their vehicles or putting some kind of special badge or doing something like that to make these first vehicles very collectible, and I think that may raise a little more interest and give us a little bump in the middle of this program. Now, I do expect towards the end a big jump in activity at the very end as people realize, like, hey, for $10,000 I can get into this 2,000. I think that's comfortably going to be the case, or there's going to be some jockeying for position for the first 10, the number 1, the number 10, maybe the first 100 slots. There's going to be a lot of activity for that, and then in the breakdown here, it's very hard to see. I couldn't blow this up anymore, but obviously the biggest investor state is California. Maryland is next, mainly due to the strength of the number 1 position, who has $1 million invested into them. Then the usual suspects, Florida, Oregon. Well, Massachusetts is kind of unexpected, actually. Texas, Georgia, Nevada, those all make sense. And some interesting overseas, someone from French Polynesia or Tahiti has joined in. I'm not sure if this like shipping this thing to Tahiti's got to be not cheap. And then someone from Dubai, so definitely some Middle East activity, and then several from the Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, that kind of thing, and a few Canadian investors as well. So that's interesting. Tom, who's another one of our, he's actually one of our supporting members, as well as on Discord. He has this cool analysis where he gives a percentage of new investors, which has been holding pretty steady at 30%, and then we know now we're about 20% into this campaign, and we've raised 14% of a $20 million goal and 11% of the 22,000 launch vehicles have been accounted for. So we are kind of falling off schedule. So if you see like back on February 3rd, things were pretty close. We were like 12% into it, and then we were 11% to our goal, and in terms of money, and about 9% into the goal of 2,000. So we're getting pretty close, but things are tapering off. So the duration is increasing, but the number of people and the amount of money is not growing as fast as we probably need it to be. Now, again, I do expect at the end that there's going to be a big jump in this, and so that'll be good. All right, so very interesting. I think I still check this every day, just to see where we're at, and I think we were all hoping that it would be a little bit better than this, but this is definitely more that's been raised at the Republic site through a much longer period of time. We're only a week or so into this thing, a little over a week, about 10 days into this thing, and so we're raising about $280,000 per day, which is pretty good. But I do think that Aptera should probably release some information to make these first vehicles more collectible, because I think they will be collectible, very collectible vehicles, and probably will be very sought after down the line. And if anything that can be done to make them more collectible, I think will increase the interest for some big money investors to get their hands on these, because it could pay off handsomely. As well as, in terms of the investment return, they could get a return on the actual collectability of the vehicle itself. All right, so tell me what you guys think. You think this is going to get, is someone going to beat RP for the #1 spot? And do you think that if you, at this rate, if you just invest 10,000, are you going to make it in the top 2,000? My guess is yes. If you put in 10,000, I think you're going to make it into the top 2,000 at this point. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, as always, to our supporting members, and have a great day, everyone.